Let's end the show with a quick, fun one. All-time Michigan State starting five. I don't want just like your all-time best players, by the way. I want like you have to build 5 men to start a 30-game season that you're going to watch and have the most fun watching that can also compete, DK. So give me your 5. Who's your all-time 5?
Yeah. Okay. So if we're speaking about roster fit and role and like a full season, it's different than the top 5 guys are the best guys at every 5 positions. So just making that clear before I get like stomped on for some of my selections. But I would go Cassius Winston, Denzel Valentine, Aaron Henry,
Whoa.
Draymond Green, Xavier Tillman. Those are my 5 that I would take to war any day of
Wow.
the week. I think that the front court is would probably be Michigan State's most versatile defensively. You know, Draymond can step it out and hit it. At least in college, he could. So there's some spacing there. I wanted to take a guy on the wing that was versatile and maybe necessarily didn't need to take shots because I think you have so many other guys on the roster that can do that. I think Aaron Henry is probably one of the most underrated like glue guy connectors that Michigan State has had. They don't make that 2019 Final Four run without him. I think he was an invaluable piece both defensively and just a couple of the games that he had. And then I went for maybe some of the more fun backcourt. There's no way I could have left out Winston, I don't think. And whether you want to say he slides off the ball, maybe he plays 2 in some spots and Denzel's on the ball, I think that there's some versatility there to be able to mix it. But I think that those 2 guys next to each other in terms of passing would just be insane. And you have probably arguably 3 of Michigan State's best passers in the Izzo era with Draymond in that mix on that team. I just think that that would be a team I would watch all day, every day. Guys that would go to war for each other. I like that group. So
I'm shocked at the Aaron Henry inclusion.
I like
I was expecting Gary Harris from you at the 3. I know you're high on Gary.
yeah, I am high on Gary, but when I was looking at it, I think, man, I think that I want to be careful how I word this, but I think that Henry to a certain degree was a more versatile defender over his years. I really think he was a guy that could guard 1 through 4. And Gary took a lot of shots over the course of it. And when you have Denzel and Winston and Draymond on the team, I think you needed 2 guys that don't need the ball 100% and were willing to get in the trenches and do the dirty work. And I think Henry and XT are the perfect fit around guys that can put the ball in the hole.
That's a fair stance. Also, you get the "I don't have time to be tired" quote from Aaron Henry. Him and Draymond on a
What was the
similar
fish
team.
one? He had a good fish
just
one.
just keep swimming
Yeah, something like that.
as we're fighting for our lives to win the last
Yeah,
3
he
games
put
of the year.
listen, that run that he had where he put the team on the back and they made the tournament. I think that's one of the more underrated closes to a Michigan State season I've ever seen. Like the guy literally did everything. That team stunk. That team stunk.
Yeah.
We had Foster Lawyer and Thomas Kithier as our like starting 1 and 5 for parts of that season, and he got him to the tournament. It was a miracle. That was a miracle.
It was special. Cart, what's your answer? Who's your 5?
Are we doing coaches? I want Fife on my staff. No.
No, we are not.
No. Okay. It took everything in me. Now, I tried to find any way to get Joseph Jamal in this lineup, but unfortunately, I cannot get him in there. I'm going same backcourt as DK. I got Cash and Zell in my backcourt. At my 3, I got McQuaid. I'm not,
Wow.
McQuaid, I think is the perfect. He can shoot it. He was, defensively, he was a guy. I'm not saying he's like the best defender in Michigan State history, but he was a guy that, was willing to do the little things I think you need at the 3 position. And he doesn't hit women. So I didn't want to put the redacted player at that position. I got Draymond at the 4, and I got Jaren at the 5.
Okay. Okay. Mine's similar to yours as well. Cash, Zell, Draymond, Jaren at the 4-5. I'm going Shannon Brown at the 3. I think what's missed from both of your team, like I want a classic Michigan State leaper. And I was trying to think who it would be. I'm with you, Car. I can't include redacted.
I was gonna put leaper, but I can't.
Yeah, you just can't go, which is a shame because he was so fun. But I think Shannon's probably the only answer, unless you went like Brandon Dawson, but you're not taking him over the front court guys.
Dawson at the 3, good Lord. You want to watch that?
Yeah, that's
I love Dawson, but no, he's a 4.
That's what I'm saying. So I'll throw Shannon at the 3. A lot of fun options you could do with this team. Probably would have been more fun.
We definitely got to post this and see who would pick whose team.
I like that. Card, I got a question for you. Jaren Jackson's freshman year or Xavier Tillman's junior year? What are you taking? Both were defensive player of the year. Who would you rather take?
It's so hard not to like look forward to see like what Jaren.
Of course, you see in the NBA and the progress and all the rest of it. You can't do it if you're just looking at college careers.
Like I told you, from the minute that Tillman put that senior on his back and had that other kid, that dude was special. Starting with that tip dunk against Illinois to like win the game. I think that was man. I think I'm still going Jaren. I think I still am. But I
think Xavier Tillman was arguably the best pick and roll defender that Michigan State has ever had under Izzo. I think he was special. He was a great short roll passer, didn't need the ball a ton, did everything. And you just look at what he did against Zion Williamson his sophomore year, really made him inefficient, that Duke game. And then that game against Luka Garza at home when he locked him up for like the last 8 minutes, National Player of the Year. Like that, like those just ring so loud in my, and Jaren just had so much trouble staying on the floor. He was constantly in foul trouble.
And part of that wasn't his fault. We don't stand with stripes on this podcast.
We are an anti-stripes show. That is for sure. All right. This was fun. Very, very impressive episode, I would say. DK's triumphant return to the Sleepers podcast, I would say, was a massive success. David Klein, thank you for being here. As always, thank you for all the great work that you do in this conference. You can get more from DK on his Twitter. First of all, is it Spartan Hoops _DK?
Got it. Yep.
Spartan Hoops _DK, and SpartanHoops.com is where you can get all of his work, both now and then throughout the season. Thank you for being here, my friend. Open invite. We'll get you back on soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.